Justice Department Inspector General Michael Horowitz yesterday testified before the Senate Judiciary Committee, where he reiterated the central finding of his report that the decision to open an investigation of the 2016 Trump campaign was justified.
We determined that the decision to open Crossfire Hurricane was made by the then FBI Counterintelligence Division's Assistant Director, Bill Priestap, and that his decision reflected a consensus reached after multiple days of discussions and meetings among senior FBI officials. We reviewed department and FBI policies and concluded that Assistant Director Priestap's exercise of discretion in opening the investigation was in compliance with those policies. We did not find documentary or testimonial evidence that indicated political bias or improper motivation influencing his decision to open the investigation. We found that Crossfire Hurricane was open for an authorized investigative purpose and with sufficient factual predication. This decision to open Crossfire Hurricane, which involved the activities of individuals associated with a national major party campaign for president, was, under department and FBI policy, a discretionary judgment left to the FBI. As we point out in our report, there was no requirement that department officials be consulted or even notified of that decision prior to the FBI making that decision.
Well, Willie, that part is about as straightforward as can be.
Yeah.
Obviously, no abuse of discretion, no bias. There would be a lot of problems as it pertained to the FISA warrant process, which the IG would talk about, but later on. But regarding the bigger picture, the question that the Trump administration and Donald Trump and all of his lackeys on Capitol Hill have been pushing, the conspiracy theory has been now for several years that Barack Obama tapped his phones in Trump Tower, and they launched this investigation with the specific intent of taking down a presidential candidate. That lie, or those series of lies, that extraordinarily reckless conspiracy theory, blown in a million little pieces yesterday.
Yeah, the Inspector General made clear and said so explicitly that the FBI did not seek to insert informants into the Trump campaign. But Benjamin Wittes, Michael Horowitz asked Congress to do something yesterday that it's not very good at, which is to hold two thoughts in its head at once. One is that there were terrible abuses of the FISA process, and he laid those out, and Republicans focus on that part of it. And that should be alarming to anyone. And we can talk about that, because if it's for your side on one moment, it's going to be the other side the next. But the other piece of it that Horowitz said clearly, as we just heard in the soundbite, was that the FBI investigation into the Trump campaign was properly predicated, that this was not a deep state conspiracy to go after and to take down Donald Trump and to prevent him from becoming president, et cetera, et cetera.
So it's more than that. It's that the investigation was properly predicated. The conspiracy theories about spying on the Trump campaign are false. The conspiracy theories about misuse of confidential informants are false. The conspiracy theories about the insurance policy. We had a conversation on this show a couple months ago about the insurance policy conspiracy. That is not true. The struck page texts do not reflect a deep state conspiracy to take down the president, a coup, treason. All that stuff is garbage. There is two reports here, right? And it's in one volume. One report is about whether any of these conspiracy theories have any element of truth to them. And the answer to that question is a decisive rebuttal of all of it. I mean, just all of it, including dozens and dozens and dozens of statements by the President of the United States dating back nearly to the beginning of his presidency. The other report, and I don't want to diminish this because, as you say, Willie, it's really important, is whether the FBI conducted itself in the context of the Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Act applications here in a fashion that comports with what we should expect from the preeminent law enforcement agency in the nation, tasked with this very sacred and delicate trust under the statute? And the answer to that question is no. The Bureau's conduct here is simply not what we should expect from the FBI in an investigation of, Carter Page, or an investigation of some unnamed Muslim American who there might be suspicions is connected with, a foreign terrorist organization.
Right.
FISA is a really delicate instrument, and we should demand more of the FBI in the conduct and preparation of FISA applications than we saw in this case. And so I think you're exactly right that we should be able to hold two ideas in our heads at the same time. They're both really important ideas.
Thanks for checking out MSNBC on YouTube, and make sure you subscribe to stay up to date on the day's biggest stories. And you can click on any of the videos around us to watch more from Morning Joe and MSNBC. Thanks so much for watching.